Welcome to week 2 workout number 2. Today we are doing a balance-based workout. So it is all about finding that balance within the body, practicing maybe some new skills that you maybe don't often do at home and designate the time to. Okay, it is super transferable into your everyday life. Single leg, body weight, that's all you need. Let's get into it. Okay, to get ourselves nice and warmed and ready for the workout ahead, we are getting into our warm-up. So we have 2 movements that we're going to be doing. We've got 30 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, and we're going through 3 rounds. The first movement that we're going to do to get nice and warm is ankle rolls, okay? Up onto those tippy toes and just creating circles with those heels, okay? We're doing maybe 10 or so ankle rolls each side, and then you swap it over. Then the second movement that we're doing is our sit to stand. You should be feeling nice and familiar with these ones, a very practical movement for the everyday life, 30 seconds of our sit to stand. All right, so starting with our first 30 seconds of those ankle rolls. When you are ready, planting one foot on the ground, lifting one up, and then starting your first 30 seconds of ankle rolls, getting that mobility through. You can go between clockwise and counterclockwise. Super simple, just to get that mobility through. Good, maybe around 10 or so each side. Okay, so that next movement we're going into is a sit to stand. Setting the feet up, chest is open, hips back. 30 seconds now, let's get straight into it. Reach those hips back towards the chair, standing up tall. As we push those hips back, all right, think about keeping tension through those glutes and then creating more tension as we come to the standing position. Chest up tall, shoulders are back. All right, back into our ankle rolls. Very, very simple. Enjoy your recovery, get yourself organized. Straight into it now, 30 seconds. Maybe changing the position of where you plant that foot. Bring it forward, maybe bring it a little bit behind. Just ease into those maybe semi-uncomfortable areas or rotational movements. There we are, okay, into our sit to stand. Standing up tall, hips back, 30 seconds, let's get into it. Stay tall and proud through that chest. Squeeze those glutes, it's just the warm up here. Nothing crazy, just getting really primed and ready, getting that blood flow through the body, heart rate elevated. Great work. All right, we've got one more round now. Ankle rolls, 30 seconds, and then seated sit to stand. Let's get into it. Good, swapping over those legs, moving through different planes. Don't forget to go clockwise and counterclockwise as well. Great work. All right, final movement, our sit to stand. Set those feet up, hip width apart, chest is broad. Let's go. 30 seconds. If you're feeling pretty good, maybe you might challenge yourself. Elevate from last session that we did, where you just bring those hips back to the chair and tap and then stand back up again. We are going into our balance workout now. We have 4 exercises over 3 sets, and we've got 20-second rest in between each exercise. Now these exercises, the only piece of equipment you might need is a bench or a chair or something to maybe get you a little bit more assistance with. If you're feeling a little bit more advanced, you don't necessarily need that around. Another option you can do is do this without shoes on so that you can really feel that tactile engagement through your feet, toes, and get a little bit more out of your balance exercises. So our first exercise that we are going into is a double leg calf raise. We've got a pause at the top. So holding onto the chair to start, feet hip width apart. We're going up onto our toes, holding for a second, and then coming back down. When you're ready, join on in with me. Up onto those toes, control your way back down. As we up onto the toe, remember we want to go through our big toe. So distribute that weight through that medial angle of the feet as opposed to rolling out to the outside. If you need that assistance through that chair, feel free to get that support. Halfway there, a little pause at the top. Great, so our next movement we're going into is some balance. So again, if you need that extra assistance through the chair, do so. Driving down with that left leg, rise up that right foot, standing up nice and tall. As little contact as you can have with that chair is even better. 40 seconds now, holding there, stay tall. Keep this leg off the ground, and if you've got that ability to let go, and have those hands freely in space. If any time you get the wobbles, just pop that hand down. Now knowing that if you do want to elevate this one, see if you can close those eyes down and still hover in that position for a little bit longer. Great work. So now you've got another 20 seconds to recover. Very simple. We're going to swap over sides. So with that left leg elevated now, right foot anchoring down on the ground, lifting that torso up tall. And maybe you might find that you've got a little bit more better balance in one side. So 40 seconds starting now, lifting up tall. Assist if you need to with that chair. If you don't, let go, standing tall, looking straight ahead and engaging through that glute. You might feel a little bit wobblier on this side, and that is okay. Just keep holding there. Stay steady. Not long to go now. Great, and now we've got our final movement. You're going to set yourselves maybe around 12 steps or 12 foot length distance. We're going to do tightrope walking. You're going to place those feet 1 foot in front of the other. If you don't have the space, that is fine, but ideally 12 steps forward and then 12 steps back. Let's get into it with me. Planting that toe where it meets with the heel, forwards and back. And if you've got that straight line, that is what we are after. And if this is feeling a little bit easier, you've got that option to do this with your eyes closed and see how straight you are. Fantastic, so that is round 1. We have 2 more rounds to go. Our calf raises, single leg holds, and then the tightrope walking, okay? So setting your feet up again, feet hip width apart, getting ready, nice and tall, moving up through that big toe. Your 40 seconds is going. And if you really want to elevate this and you're feeling like this is a little bit easier, there's a few options you can do. You can do these single-sided, so you can go single leg, or you might even hold at the top for a little bit longer, like a pause, really feel that burn through the calves. Or if you are feeling really creative, you might bring those heels off a step and get a little bit of extra range up through that big toe. All right, so now we're going into our single leg balance. Starting with that left leg anchoring down first, right leg up into the sky. Chest is up and lifted, holding tall, 40 seconds now. Maybe give yourself a go. Let go of those hands. See how long you can hold this position without holding onto anything or asking for any assistance. And only when you need to, bring that hand down to kind of correct where you're at. Awesome work. Shake it out. We're going into the other side now. We're going to drill that right leg into the ground, raising up through that left side. Standing up tall. And we're going into 40 seconds. Now these are a bunch of exercises that you can really do anytime, anywhere, not necessarily right now in this workout. You might add this into another training day. You might add this in every second day. These are some exercises that are so valuable for your everyday life. And if you are really struggling right now with your balance, it might be a really good idea to add this in. Keep holding, keep that foot off the ground. Chest is tall. All right, so we've got our heel to toe little tightrope walks now. If you've got the space to do so, lengthen it out. We want to be able to go forwards and back around about 12 steps. If you're like me and don't have that space, that is fine. Just to the end of a mat and back is fine. Maybe 2 meters. And knowing that if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, close those eyes down and keep it as straight as possible. Heel to toe. Great work. So we have one more round to go. Our calf raises, our balance, and our tightrope walking. Hopefully you're getting really familiar with these 3 movements. Set those feet up. We're going in 3, 2, 1, straight into it. Up onto those tippy toes, pausing for that brief second. Good. If you don't need any assistance with the chair, don't use it. Remember, if you want, you can go into single-sided. You can get a little bit of extra range by doing these off a chair and also pausing at that top range for a little extra second. Great work. Now we're moving on to our single leg balance. Left side we start with, right leg elevated. Shake off whatever you need to. Drill that left leg into the ground, lift up tall, right leg up, 40 seconds, holding here. Remember, you've got that option. Let go of the hands if you can. Close those eyes down if you feel you can. Be aware of that space around you with your eyes closed, that if you need, you do have that chair really close towards you, that you can just pop it down or place that foot on the ground for a brief moment. 10 more seconds to go here. Got another 20 seconds to recover. Right leg, and then into our final movement, which is our little toe to heel walks, and then you've completed. So 2 more exercises. Now we're going to drill that right leg into the ground, sitting up nice and tall. All right, hovering here. See if you can let go of your assistance as early as possible. Closing down those eyes if you're capable to do so. Maybe have those arms out a little bit wider if you feel that helps you out without necessarily having to hold on to anything for extra support. We are halfway there. Keep holding, you're doing really well. Fantastic. All right, our final movement now is those toe to heel tightrope walks from one end of a mat or the space you're working through and backwards again, heel toe. When you're ready, we're going into that 40 seconds. Let's do it. Closing down those eyes if you want that extra challenge, and if you know you've got enough space around you to safely do so. Fantastic work. So that wraps up for our workout number 2 of week 2. We're going to get into week 3 next week, and we're going to start to really lift our workouts a little bit more. Hopefully see you then next week.